Have you noticed what happens when we move to a different country? When you noticed how there are pockets of similar communities living together, similar shops. So if you want a particular food and it's available in a particular area, you will find that the inhabitants, most of the population in that area, are those that consume that same food. Are we limited to our diet? Are we then limited to a belief system that will be born of this community? Who are we when we're not that community? Who are we when we're not that food or that diet? The reason why we flock together like that is it gives us a sense of familiarity, which then gives us a sense of safety and security. And when you venture out, like if you now suddenly are in a completely different country, you're out of your comfort zone, you don't know anybody, and you're able to build a house there, you go and set up shop, you do everything and you adopt the culture, even vary your palate so that you're trying different cuisines, different types of living. What happens, right? What happens to you at that time is you become more open, you're more varied, your experience is more varied, your blinkers are off, and you're open to having all of these different experiences. Similarly, when we experience a spiritual awakening, that awakening will go from the known into the known. It'll take you from the known stage, which will be your known or the habituated reactions and responses to life, including your diet. So if something has worked for you, you may advocate it as being something that might work for somebody else. But the difficulty here is, as long as when you're awakened, you realize that no one size fits all, yeah, then your awakening is already yielding fruit. Otherwise, when we are still, even in an awakened state, quite rigid in our belief systems, meaning there is a belief system, right? And we still go back to that original community in which we were brought up, and we still go back to saying, oh no, they know best, that lifestyle was best, the food that I was accustomed to growing up was the best, right? In an awakened state, because you are unfolding infinity, you're unfolding the possibility of so much that it is even impossible to put it into words. You're not limited. Your palate is not limited, right? And your appetite for this awakening is also not limited to what you know from books you have read, from other people who have experienced this awakening, because this is unique to you, as you will have had your own bank of experiences so far. So imagine whatever, in as many lives as it has taken you to get to this point, whether they're all parallel lives happening at the same time or whether they're happening one after the other, nevertheless, there'll be a bank of these records. Those records are unique to you, as would then be your awakening. Given that it is unique to you, right, we then in turn accept that another's awakening will also be unique to them. So whilst it is okay for us to get a bit of guidance from here, there, and everywhere, ultimately in an awakened state, right, you will be your only teacher. It is you as the teacher of self, as the teacher of truth, who will be able to set yourself free from bondage, free from the idea that I am this physical existence, and free from whatever it is that is creating an impediment in your way, because you will lead your own way. Lots of love.